this is my beautiful attempt at using the new Ohuhu skin tone markers. I bought the 24 set, and yes, let's go. Alright, so here I am swatching them all out and testing them. And obviously, I was attempting to keep all the yellows like together, but as you'll see here in like 2 seconds, that didn't quite work. I kind of just like gave up halfway through and then just started doing it all. I really do like this set. There's a lot of yellows in it though, and you know, if you've watched these videos before on anybody talking about this skin set, there's not a lot of lighter skin tones. So that's one thing to keep in mind when you get this skin set, is you're going to get a lot of darker skin tones. So you're not going to be able to draw like pale people very easily with this. I do really like the BR208 right there, and then the YR20. I think those are really pretty. So one thing that I've heard a lot about this specific set is that it's really strange to have so many yellows and like the greens, but I think people are forgetting that, like this green right here, I think people are forgetting that you can use that as an undertone. And it actually looks even different if you layer it on top of a color, because it kind of bleaches it. So what I did here in a second is, the first one that I did, I actually layered it underneath my first color, and then and then I just added a couple more different layers on top of it, and it looks really pretty. I don't know why it was so slow there for a second and now it's fast. Yeah, so it's super green, but then if you put that color on top of it, it actually looks really pretty. So I didn't have a problem with it having those greens there, because the color that you get without it layered is very different. So it's kind of nice to, you know, spice up some life a little bit right there. So one thing I did notice is these are Ohuhus, so they do tend to bleed a lot. I'm using a cardstock, and my Copics, they don't bleed as much as my Ohuhus do. And even worse actually are my Art and Flies. Those bleed like crazy. And I'm not sure why, because they're all alcohol based, so I don't know. I'm not the best at coloring hair. I was at first only going to use the skin set for the skin and not even try to use it for the hair. But then I saw somewhere that it said it was for skin and hair, so I just went ahead and did that. I'm really not the best at coloring with Copics, but I think I did all right. And I kind of consistently had problems because I put those little 3 dots there, and then I didn't leave enough room to actually write the stuff beside them. So, yep. But those are the colors that I used: GY163, R26, and R27. So this one I was trying to go with a darker skin tone, and I wanted to layer that really bright pink that you got with it. I think it was like I think it was literally called black brown, but obviously it's not, so whatever. But I wanted to layer that underneath. So I was trying to specifically use some colors that I knew people wouldn't really know what to do with, just so that you could see what it would look like if you were using the color, instead of trying to like not use the color. I'm really not the best at drawing or coloring people with darker skin tones, so I tried. And yeah, as you can see, like on the side of his cheek right there and in his eyes and stuff, I kind of got messy. I don't really use Copics, or not Copics, but I don't use alcohol markers very much. So I'm kind of messy with them. I'm more used to coloring on my tablet and then being able to just go in there and erase it. So I wasn't really paying attention. And I should have. And my lighting is kind of changing here because it's getting darker. So I was using my gel pen to go in and clean up my messes. Yeah, and then here's one where I was using one of the really dark yellows to use that one as a base. And I don't know why, but I ended up doing the 3 faces and like kind of like in a little pattern. But that was not on purpose. This looks so Simpson-y when you start off with that yellow, but it gives it like this really I mean personally I think it's a really pretty skin tone. I just love that skin tone. It's so it seems richer to me, not as flat if you add those bases in there. When I was opening up these Ohuhus, I noticed that they kept splashing little dots everywhere. So right underneath her eyebrow, you can see that brown dot. That was from opening up just like the lid to something, and it kind of splattered. And there's even one that's kind of further down. And it just kept happening over and over again. So I don't know if that's because they're filled too much, or if it's because it's kind of hard to open up the caps, as you can probably tell why I'm struggling. But it was really annoying because I did another video and the same thing kept happening, and I'm like, really? I don't understand why. I guess they're just very juicy. And then I used the GY, whatever that I use as a skin tone, GY163 for her eyes. So this one I use that really light yellow on top of this to try and take advantage of that almost like bleaching effect it has. And so it added these like kind of highlights into it that I thought were really pretty. And I was trying to add blush to her face, so I'm really not the best at that. I keep saying I'm not the best at stuff, but that's because I'm not the best, so. And with this one, I realized her hair color was really similar to her skin tone. And so I believe I went in, I went in and tried to darken it up a little bit. Try and get a little bit of difference in her hair and skin. And that was me trying to smooth out her skin tone a little bit because it's kind of patchy, which happens when you put a lighter color on top of a darker color. I'm pretty sure that happens with every marker, but I noticed a lot with these Ohuhu skin tones. And I was trying to add some more shadow to her face because I realized that I had chosen a lot of really light not mid-tone, but light-toned colors, I guess. And I didn't write which one I used down there because I didn't even think about that. But this one, I was really trying to go for a lighter skin tone. But as I said, this set doesn't have very many light skin tones. So, I mean, you can see that it's like a peach, but it's like a really dark saturated peach, so it just makes him almost look like you dipped him in some pink paint or something. And that green is really pretty. I should have used that for a skin tone base at some point, but I don't think I did. I did make some more bases to try out these colors for, because I was going to use all the like really weird ones as bases. But this took me almost 2 hours to color, and by the time I was done with just these 6 faces, I was pretty much like tired of it already. So I didn't do it. I didn't do the other set of faces that I have. If you are interested in it, I don't mind doing some more. So yeah, I was trying to do like just a little generic blonde boy, and I don't know, he looks kind of like a Chad, but I'm okay with that. Chads need love too. So this is another one. I was trying to go for a more orange, I guess, skin tone for her, like an orangish skin tone, instead of the like really reddish one that I have on the other guy. So I started off with that kind of lighter brown, and then I was trying to like add some dimension to her, and I think I kind of covered up too much of that brown, so her face ends up getting really dark here in a second. Yeah. I was trying to add blush to her, and I don't know, it kind of looks like a mask. I tried. I really do like that middle reddish brown there, though. That was a pretty color. I really like that. And I'm just like constantly accidentally coloring into the eyes. I don't know why. It's just what I do. I just do that. And actually, I'm really not sure. I mean, obviously, because when I'm looking back on it, all I can see is my freaking hand in the way. But I'm not sure if that's me, like, being messy, or if it's the markers bleeding into it. Because I feel like, you know, I mean, I'm not purposefully being a slob. But also, the the evidence is right there. Like, it's in every single one of their eyes. And she had these really, this was an Instagram model, she had these really, really, really gorgeous coils that were wrapped up in this really pretty bun. And I was trying to capture that, but, you know, no matter what I did, it kind of, yeah, it didn't work properly. That is so silly. I used my white gel pen and I didn't even get the brown out of her eyeball right there. Oh, maybe I will. I did, yay. Yeah, and then I was trying to darken up some of those colors, because again, a lot of the colors are very similar to that. Like, similar to each other. So, anyways, thank you so much for watching. All in all, I think this is a really good skin palette, and you guys should check it out too.